Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, like I'm always saying in the world of politics, it's very rare that there's coincidences. And I believe the timing on this Hunter Biden story is no coincidence. It's no coincidence that the New York Times all of a sudden validates the Hunter Biden story right before things start to ramp up significantly in what is being called an expanded federal probe into Hunter Biden's dealings with foreign assets. What's happening here is the corrupt, dishonest, lying liberal media that tried to shove this story under a rug and tried to tell you that anyone talking about Hunter Biden's laptop was a conspiracy theorist pushing Russian propaganda and Russian disinformation. It seems as though that same media is doing a total 180 and trying to protect itself because this story is just getting started and it's about to blow up. It's crazy to think how fast time flies, but it's been over a year since Facebook and Twitter worked together to suppress the New York Post coverage of Hunter Biden's laptop. And over that last, I guess about year and a half at this point, the media collectively has devoted almost nothing, no time at all, to Hunter Biden's laptop from hell. And then all of a sudden, after that New York Times piece, it's a major story that the left-wing media is now reporting as a potential criminal probe that could see Hunter Biden indicted on multiple federal charges. What it seems like, folks, is that the water is bursting through the dam, the floodgates are open, and the Biden crime family is about to get exposed for their corrupt influence peddling. Let me update you guys on what different news outlets are saying. Of course, let's debunk CNN like we always do. But before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. With that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so what I mentioned in the intro is really what I want to focus on. After a year and a half of this story doesn't exist, this story is Russian disinformation, there's no credible evidence or any investigation going on, all of a sudden, CBS is reporting on the Hunter Biden scandal and laptop and investigation like this.
Multiple sources tell CBS News that the federal investigation into Hunter Biden's business practices is broader than previously known. The probe is exploring whether the younger Biden and his associates violated tax, money laundering, and foreign lobbying laws. Business records reviewed by CBS News and documents released by Republicans in Congress indicate multiple financial transactions involving Hunter Biden, his firm, and a Chinese energy company called CEFC. Republicans allege that the company is an arm of the Chinese government. In 2017, the year after Joe Biden left the vice presidency, a $1 million retainer was signed with the Chinese energy company for Hunter Biden's services as a lawyer. His client, a CEFC official, Patrick Ho, was later convicted of international bribery and money laundering charges for unrelated work in Africa. This week on the Senate floor, Republican Chuck Grassley presented financial records that he said showed six-figure payments from the Chinese energy company to Hunter Biden's firm.
Hunter Biden and James Biden served as the perfect vehicle by which the Communist Chinese government could gain inroads here in the United States.
All of a sudden, the media is curious. All of a sudden, there's evidence. Well, there's been evidence for a very long time. It's just now the media is forced to admit it. As Fox News and the New York Post's Miranda Devine said best the other night, the dam is about to burst.
Well, I mean, look, that's just another extraordinary mistruth from President Biden there, and he did that throughout the campaign. I mean, he pretended that he knew nothing about his son Hunter's overseas business dealings, and there is plenty of evidence on the laptop in Tony Bobulinski's material and the material that Chuck Grassley and Ron Johnson collected for their Senate investigation and are currently presenting to Congress, and I think they're going to be doing that on a regular basis to show links between Hunter Biden and Communist China. And there is also evidence that Joe Biden financially benefited from Hunter Biden's grift and his brother Jim Biden's grift with these countries, which are crucial to America's national security interests. And a lack of curiosity from most of the media is repellent and really corrupt. But I think the dam is about to burst. We have Hunter Biden is looking at indictments coming out of that grand jury in Delaware, and you see the New York Times and I believe the Washington Post are now sniffing around. They've admitted the laptop is real, and they realize that this is a bombshell story.
And once again, folks, crackhead Hunter Biden making $1 million from a corrupt Chinese official acting as his lawyer, literally crackhead Biden, someone's lawyer, just doesn't smell right. Especially when the man who hired him and the man he was working for, a Chinese official, was already under investigation for being part of some international business dealings, helping certain individuals or certain countries bypass US sanctions on Iran. Joe Biden, the son of the then vice president, being in contact with these individuals is one thing. Receiving $1 million from these types of individuals, these shadowy CCP figures, is a massive, massive red flag. And Joe Biden has claimed countless times on the record that he knew nothing about these deals. It's just hard to believe. In fact, it's impossible to believe, especially when there's evidence pointing towards the contrary. Evidence that, by the way, CNN continues to deny.
Until you make someone makes a nexus between what Hunter Biden has done and official activities of Vice President Biden or President Biden, it's a not pretty picture, but it's not really of much public import in terms of the policy of the United States or the administration of the government. But so far, there is zero evidence that Vice President Biden or President Biden has done anything wrong in connection with what Hunter Biden has done.
There's still no evidence to connect Joe Biden to Hunter Biden's actions or business dealings. No evidence. Tony Bobulinski is literally on the record, unequivocally stating that Joe Biden is in fact the big guy, and that Joe Biden was routinely involved and keenly aware of Hunter Biden's business dealings.
It has 10% for the big guy held by H. I 1,000% sit here and know that the big guy is referencing Joe Biden. That's crystal clear to me because I lived it. I met with the former vice president in person multiple times. On May 2nd, 2017, the night before Joe Biden was to appear at the Milken Conference, I was introduced to Joe Biden by Jim Biden and Hunter Biden. At my approximately hour-long meeting with Joe, that night, we discussed the Biden's history, the Biden's family business plans with the Chinese, with which he was plainly familiar, at least at a high level.
There is definitely ample evidence. Maybe not a smoking gun email involving Joe Biden himself, but certainly there is strong evidence, witness testimony, from not just a random person, but from Jim Biden and Hunter Biden's close business associate, Tony Bobulinski. If that's not evidence, then I don't know what is. But of course, CNN seems fully willing to throw Hunter Biden under the bus.
This is very, very bad for the president's son.
A lot of this has to do with Hunter Biden's time working with this company called Burisma, an energy company in Ukraine. He was getting paid as much as $50,000 a month for that company during a time that Joe Biden, his father, was vice president, was in charge of handling Ukraine issues for the Obama administration. And that, of course, raised questions of a conflict.
Yeah, he was making a lot of money doing something he definitely should not have been doing while his dad was vice president and overseeing that portfolio.
The revelation of 2022 that Hunter Biden was peddling his family's Washington influence and his last name to foreign entities. I mean, what a revelation. They're willing to admit it when it comes to Hunter Biden, but will continue to deny that there's any evidence involving Joe. I mean, give me a break. Eventually, the dam is going to burst, and the water pressure will be so powerful, the flooding stream will be of such immense force that it's going to scoop up Joe Biden as well. There is no way he is not involved in this scheme, this pay-to-play scheme, this influence peddling racket that Hunter Biden and Jim Biden were running. There's circumstantial evidence, there's hard evidence through emails, there's witness testimony implicating Joe Biden, and there's probably a whole lot more that's currently classified behind the scenes that we just don't have access to just yet. Oh, and there's also this, which I'm not sure exactly how newsworthy it is, but might as well add it. Hunter Biden's baby mama, London Roberts, breaks silence on expanding criminal probe into Hunter's business practices, where here's the report that we're getting. Hunter Biden's ex-girlfriends Zoe Keston and London Roberts the former club dancer who had a baby with him, testified to a federal grand jury about Hunter's spending habits. Clint Lancaster, London Roberts' lawyers, handed over a significant amount of Hunter's financial records to the feds under subpoena. Quote, "I expect him to be indicted," Lancaster said, based on what he saw after looking at Hunter Biden's financial records. So somebody who was in fact granted to Hunter Biden's financial records through, I guess, some sort of discovery process, I'm not exactly sure. Well, this lawyer is now on the record claiming that he expects Hunter Biden to be indicted. The question is, are they going to throw Hunter under a bus to save Joe Biden, or is the DNC going to throw Joe Biden to the pack of wolves currently investigating the president's son? That is the unanswered question. It is the question that will most likely be soon answered, and hopefully the whole crime family and their criminal racket gets exposed, and they all get the justice they deserve. That's what I got for you guys, though. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share this video as much as possible. Of course, we are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. I'm gonna get back to work. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.